Before we start, please note that the game contains adult romance and novelty. On top of that, there will also be a lot of yabai, thirsty, down bad, and sussy moments coming from me. So if you are under 16 or are sensitive to these stuff, I'll give you 5 seconds to turn off and throw your computer out the window so you can reflect upon your life. Okay, now you have been warned. And for those who still remained here, I assume you are as weird and disgusting as me. I like it. Well then, sorry for the wait. Let the show begin. Enjoy. Alright, welcome back to Red Embrace. In the last one we met like 3 smokingly hot guys. Like 2 of them are kind of my type, so guess who is my type? Anyway, and there's one guy we haven't met who's Rex, and I'm kind of interested seeing, or 3 guys I think we haven't met yet, so I'm excited to see what they're about. So I'll try to improve my voice, so just to make these people a bit more distinctive from each other, because I don't quite know them. I don't really get to interact with them much, and I don't have the picture of like what kind of personality they have, and so please do pardon me if their voices still seem similar, but I'll try to, Ugh, son, fuck off. I burn my face against my pillow to hide from the sunlight. Damn, it must already be afternoon. Stupid graveyard shift make it so hard to catch a decent amount of rest, unless you sleep underground or somewhere away from a window. Maybe I should invest in a coffin. It's foreboding. More style points than a sleeping mask, that's for sure. Groaning, I eventually force myself out of bed and stumble over the kitchen to put on some coffee. Work doesn't start for a while yet, so I can do a little freelancing today. I'm only working at the diner to save up some money on the side anyway. My real passion is... I would say music. Out of the 3, I would pick music first, then art, then writing. Because I'm not good with words. I'm good at expressing myself, so I'm kind of an expressive person, even though I'm kind of like a scientific guy. Like, I have some affinity to science, but I still do, preserve some of my artistic sides. So, expressions and creativity, inspiration, those kind of stuff. But, too bad, I don't really have a talent with words, so I'm kind of dyslexic. I don't really, manipulate words that great. Sometimes I misunderstand people, what people are saying. I misheard what people are saying. I misread what I'm reading. So it's kind of taking a toll on me. So oftentimes I would have a hard time on reading and writing. But I grew up with music because I used to play the clarinet. I used to play the violin, but like years and years of just studying, I just forgot how to play these instruments. Also art, I'm slightly dyspraxic, so I don't really control stuff well. So just all in all, I know what I would like to express, but it's just the ending, the result product. It's just sucks. So I don't really do good art. I did like sketching back in the days. I have good sense of portion, sense of depth, but if it comes to color or mixing colors, I don't really mix well. So let's see. I would pick music. Music is my kind of thing. Cause I have good ears. I can still listen like the rhythm and the melody, those kind of stuff. I love making music, even though I never had any formal training. It's kind of nice. Music is important. But there's something really soothing about bringing to life the beats and melodies in my head. So I spend a lot of my free time working on my new tracks. So it's kind of similar. Now I like doing video games. It's sort of like how to make things interesting, how to make things like you can like sublimate the emotions and the scenario. So I would like put in memes or sound effects or music background, those kind of stuff. Because in my mind, there's certain things that I would like that to happen. In my mind, like that thing should happen to make to achieve that effect. So I have those kind of ideas. I've worked on a few small games and student films, but I'd like to really reach the stars one day. Just like me, one day I'd like to reach the stars in the VTuber like universe. Not being too famous like PewDiePie or Jacksepticeye, but it's just like if I get like a few thousand subscriber viewers, that's enough. I think it's nice. It's not like I don't have like a big ambition, but I would be humble if like 10 guys just watch my streams or my videos constantly. It's still good enough. I'm still happy. I mean, even down to 1 guy or 5 people, I'm still down for it. As long as someone watches me, I'll gladly do this, because this is my passion. And I don't think the numbers or profit would justify my passion, so... I mean, I could relate. Or at least get out of the bottom 5% of cloud sound. I mean, 5% is a lot. Like, if you count off the population or amount of competitors, 5% is a lot. Like, you never estimate your competitors or rivals. Anyway, I have some time to spare, so I plop down in my office chair with coffee mug in my hand. But the moment I stare at my computer screen, I suddenly remember what happened last night. Back on that dark street. You might even see a friend of yours there, or maybe a customer. Is a better word? Isaac was acting like he knew something about me or someone I know, even though that should be impossible. There was something unnerving about what he said afterwards, but I can't really remember his words. It's all fuzzy. You got charmed, that's for sure. I'm starting to think that it's not some random drug deal going down tonight. A smart man would keep his distance, but if I don't figure out what Isaac means, it's gonna drive me crazy. That sleazeball in a suit is up to something, that's for sure. I put my head down on my desk and rub my eyes with one hand. I guess there's no helping it, huh? I'll have to see for myself what will happen tonight. Distracted by my own thoughts, I spend the rest of the time until my shift on half-heartedly working on the new project. Okay. After what feels like forever, it finally gets dark, and I head out to start my shift. Okay, what's gonna happen? But during my walk, I can't help feeling a lot more nervous than normal. Troy left his morning for a business trip, so I'm the only one who's working tonight. And if anything happens, I'll have to deal with it entirely on my own. Great. That's just great. That seems dangerous. There's 2 people. The diner seems unusually quiet, even for the night shift. Only a couple of people end up stumbling in over the course of a few hours, and midnight ticks over into the early morning. It reminds me of Valhalla, the game that serves drinks. Like, you have to be the bartender to serve drinks. I'm interested in playing that game as well. If I got time, I would voice that too. I'd grow more and more tense until finally I can't take it anymore. Time to close up early. Sorry, Troy. Grabbing my keys, I flick off all the lights and leave the diner, locking it up behind me. Then I make my way to the nearby alley where Isaac came from last night. But it's empty. No gangsters, no men in suits. Just a deserted hangout for rats and abandoned garbage cans. Maybe I missed the meeting, although I should have heard gunfire if there was any. I guess they might not be here yet. But I really don't want to wait around at this creepy place for very long, especially not alone. Ugh, I should probably just head home. That's the sensible thing to do, yeah. After a few more seconds of deliberation, I turn back towards the alleyway entrance. I'm not sure why I feel so disappointed. Gotcha! Out of nowhere, someone grabs my shoulder. A second later, ooh, cabedon. A second later, my back slams against the wall, and a pair of strong arms pin me in place. Who is it? Oh, it's... Hey! You're not the one who's... you're not one of those dumbass Seirei guys. You're a human. Two wide, puzzled eyes scan over my face, like I'm some kind of mutant. A human? Of course I'm a human. What else could I be? I don't understand. Whoa, what is he doing? I break off halfway through my sentence, staring at my attacker. This red-haired guy has a tattoo on his face, and is wearing a distinctive leather jacket. Maybe this is who Luke is looking for. Could he be the person that man from last night was talking about? Whoa, why are you getting all mad, man? You're just not the guy I was looking for. He flashes me with the wide, taunting grin. I'll give him a smug voice. He looks smug. My eyes are drawn to the shape of his canines, which look just like an animal's. Long, sharp, and bone-white. You know, you smell pretty nice. Kind of special, actually. Real sweet. He leans in a bit, leering at me with those sharp fangs. They have to be some kind of body mod, right? Oh, maybe that's not. I'm pretty hungry too. Haven't eaten all night, and you're looking so much better every second. Shit, if I don't do something, this creep will really take a bite out of me. Push him off, come on. Get off, Yui. Get off, you. Ugh. I throw every ounce of my strength into pushing the man away, but he doesn't seem the least bit impressed. I mean, I would push him away, even though I'm kind of timid. But when the time comes, I would do it. I'll slap the shit out of you. Instead, he presses me harder against the wall, twisting his lips into a mockingly hurt expression. Hey, don't be like that, baby. I just want to play with you. Let me have a little taste. Come on. He coos at... What does coo mean? Starting to lean in closer again, and a sense of dread grips me like a vise. I don't know what a vise is. I shut my eyes tightly, holding my breath, sorry. This is it. I'm going to get torn apart by some psycho in the alleyway. His ragged breaths grow steadily louder, and I can feel each exhale brushing against my throat. Ugh. All of a sudden, the pressure pinning me to the wall vanishes. Huh? What's happened? When I open my eyes, I realize the man's no longer there. No, he's still here, but now... You! Oh, it's you! I don't know what that is. With a loud grunt, a familiar man in a dark jacket swings his fist towards my attacker. It's fucking Dominic. Oh, right, I forgot his name already. Fuck! I knew you were out here. The redhead lets out a gleeful laugh as he dodges the punch, moving at an incredible speed. A second later, he aims a lightning fast blow on of his own towards the other man, Dominic. Oh hey, nice one. Look at these two go. With an unchanging expression, Dominic smoothly sidesteps. It's cool. Okay. The next moment, his hand shoots out to swipe his opponent's face. What is he gonna slap him? Oh, what the fuck? Ugh. I heard the sound of something sharp cutting flesh. Oh dear. And moments later, blood starts to drip from the redhead's cheek. Dom, you're really mad. Wow. Rather than counterattacking, the tattooed man pauses, wiping off the blood on his sleeve. Oh, it's scary. But before my very eyes, the claw-like gashes on his skin start to repair themselves, until they disappear completely, leaving him uninjured. Am I going crazy? There's no way any human could do something like that. No. This has had to be... What? This had to be a bad dream. Just a bad, shitty dream. Hey Dominic, nice one. Don't tell me you're worked up because of this guy. Seriously? You want to drain him that bad? Enough. Don't bring him into this. Dominic's eyes narrow into slits as he stares at the man in the leather jacket, So, who's laughing as if he just heard the best joke on earth? Wow, wow! In that case, I'm gonna get my hands on him first. Because I wanna see you get way, way madder, Dom. Maybe they're kind of ex-lovers, maybe. Rather abruptly, the tattooed man's face freezes, and his grin fades into a frigid, bloodthirsty expression. I wanna see you suffer. Until you stop thinking of us as a fucking joke. Just like that, he charges Dominic again. Okay. Recklessly swinging frantic punches. Maybe they're kind of that relation, love-hate relation. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Yes! This time, though, he seems to be moving even faster than before, and his strikes are full of rage. Ugh. His assault is so powerful that Dominic retreats a little bit, losing a few feet of ground to the other man, who's clearly fueled by fury. Sit. They dodge and swipe at each other so quickly that my eyes can hardly follow their movements. Their speed is completely inhuman, and the more I watch them, the more my blood runs cold. Is it possible that they're really not human? When my kind flashes back to the redhead's sharp fangs, my stomach tightens, and a shiver racks my body. Come here, Dom. I'm not gonna let you run away this time. With a menacing howl, the tattooed man leaps up, pushing himself off the wall to launch towards Dominic. Ugh. Oh, did he got punched? When he doesn't manage to dodge in time, their bodies collide, and they tumble to the ground. At this rate, one of them going to end up torn open. If I try to do something, they might turn on me. I don't think they would turn on you, come on. Dominic's then never gonna turn on me, but I mean seemingly he's interested in me, so he won't turn me apart. Just maybe a little bite, I don't know. But can I really just stand here? Watch the fight. Try to stop them, come on. I have to say something. Monster or not, I don't want to see someone get ripped apart in front of me. Dominic, stop! Just throw him off and run! Ugh. Dominic seems to hear my words, but he keeps struggling with the violent redhead, who's clawing at him with everything he's got. Biting my lip, I watch the two men tussle frantically, their grunts filling the air until... Whoa, what's going on here? I think it's Isaac. Gentlemen, can you put things on hold for a moment? Yeah, I think it's Isaac. At that instant, the fighting stops completely. A tall figure approaches us from the alley's entrance, his face flashing into view under the street lamp. Isaac. After frowning at Dominic and the tattoo man, Isaac turned towards me, his eyebrows shooting upwards. Oh, you came after all. Sorry you had to see these two at their worst, but I did promise Dom would be here, didn't I? Yeah, kind of. I mean, I would be most interested in Dominic anyway. He seems to be like he suits my taste the most. So that's who Isaac was referring to. Yeah, I thought he was referring to Luca at some point. How the hell did he know I had met Dominic? Well, he came out of the diner. Come on, if he see that, I'm pretty sure he would know. Wasn't that just a few hours before I saw Isaac? He never came into the diner either, so someone must have told him. Fuck off, Isaac. You're not gonna stop me from tearing this shithead a new. Before the redhead can finish his face, Dominic suddenly throws him off with a grunt. He slams against the ground a few feet away, letting out a pained wheeze. Chuckling, Isaac pushes up his glasses, looking completely unfazed. Relax, Isaac. You need to learn when to hold back. You're not going to embarrass even your Helgen brothers. I'll give him a British accent. He seems composed anyway. As if Isaac just flipped a switch, the leather-jacketed man seems to lose all of his bloodlust. Instead, he groans and rolls his eyes, looking like a kid who just got his favorite toy taken away. Whatever, stupid old man. After Rex mutters a reply, the electric tension in the air around us gradually fades. It's replaced by an uncomfortable, awkward pause, and the four of us exchange glances for a few seconds. But after the adrenaline cloud in my brain finally dissolves, I take a deep breath and turn to Isaac. Sorry to ruin the moment, but some kind of explanation for all of this would be great. My voice, which cracks slightly with anxiety, breaks the long moment of silence. Dominic, Rex, and Isaac all stare at me, and now I understand how a rabbit must feel in the den of wolves. These guys, they're not normal. You know that, don't you, Isaac? When I pose my shaky question, Isaac throws a glance towards Dominic. For a split second, it looks like Dominic winces faintly, his eyes narrowing, but a cold, unreadable look soon washes over his features again. Yes, Boo, I think it's obvious by now that they're not normal. Isaac finally speaks up, and I shift my gaze back over him quickly. You see, behind the spit-shine gloss of our beloved San Francisco is much, much darker underbelly. One that people like you usually go their whole lives without glimpsing. He straightens his tie with one hand, an impassive smile flickering on his face. But once you get a taste of that darkness, there's no going back. For instance, if a hypothetical cute little diner boy decided he wanted to go tell the police a funny story, a tall, scary man in a dark jacket would want to make sure he never says anything else again. Okay. Kind of threatening, like gentle but threatening way. Okay, but I'll take it. At Isaac's casual threat, I glance back at Dominic in disbelief. His lips are pulled into a grimace as he meets my gaze, and I think I see a hint of guiltiness on his face. You don't need to be guilty. You're a vampire. You can't help it. Does that mean he'd really kill me if I just to stop me from telling anyone about what I saw tonight? Maybe like Isaac is the boss of these two. Maybe, I don't know. Of course, that's all hypothetical. Humans like us can work. Oh, you're human. Okay. Humans like us can work with our vampiric companions just fine, assuming no one gets loose lips. Wait, then you're not a vampire? My shocked question makes Isaac pause for a second. However, he quickly let out a laugh and shakes his head, adjusting his tie with one hand. Not really, no. Not like Rex and Dominic here anyway. Don't lump me with that piece of shit, Isaac. Rex loudly protests from where he leans against the wall, glaring at us. Of course, I'm so sorry. Now, back to the subject at hand, Boo. Just as Isaac rolls his eyes and starts up again, a pair of light footsteps echoes from down the alleyway. Several moments later, a short blonde brushes up against Isaac, panting a little. Luca. Isaac, I'm sorry I'm late. Eh? Halfway through his sentence, Luca breaks off sharply. He stares at me with saucer-like eyes. What's saucer? And I stare back in astonishment. Luca. Hang on a sec. Were you the one who told Isaac that I met Dominic? As bizarre as the whole situation, the pieces are starting to fall into place. This little brat was trying to get me to tell him about his shady types. In other words, find people who might be vampires for him. Are you human too? Lucas's surprised and flustered reaction confirms my suspicions, and he averts his gaze sheepishly. Yeah, so it was pretty clear you were trying to protect them. At that, Lucas' eyes flick over towards Dominic, taking on a certain sharpness. He glances over at Rex with the same hateful look too. Does Luca know both of them already? All right, let's not get too excited. Letting out a long sigh, Isaac pinches the bridge of his nose with his thumb and forehead. Forehead, what the hell? It seems there's some miscommunication going on here, you see. I'll split your fucking skull up, and I don't know who that is. During Isaac's second attempt to explain the situation to me, an entirely different noise splits through the air. Oh yeah? I'd like to see you try. The not-so-distant sound of fight floods towards us from a neighboring alleyway. It's not just two voices either. Actually, it sounds like more. It sounds like a lot more than that. Like a party of the worst, bloodiest kind. This is getting to be downright comical. Of course, they'd decide to go at it tonight. Animals, really. Despite the scornful nature of his words, Isaac seems to brighten up all of a sudden. Damn it! Why are those clans fighting now, of all times? Is every vampire in San Francisco out here tonight? Lucas sounds irritated, even though Isaac is obviously pleased. Some kind of gang war must be going on. The second I open my mouth to ask a question, however, Isaac takes off running. Directly towards the source of the noise. Wait, Isaac, where are you? Lucas starts to jog after Isaac with an exasperated cry, glaring at the other man's back. Oh, you okay, Dominic? Why are you so dim? At the same time, Dominic turns to head in the opposite direction, apparently disinterested. His long strides take him towards the end of the alley quickly, making it clear that he doesn't want to stick around. Rex, however, makes a beeline straight for me. Just you and me now, baby. Don't be shy. Oh boy, this night just went from bad to awful in the span of just about 15 minutes. But if I want to figure out what the hell is going on with these guys, I'd better choose what to do right now. I mean, come on, it's kind of obvious. I mean, Dominic is totally my kind. I mean, I'm up, down, bad, sideways for. I would think like more assertive people would go after maybe Rex or Luca, because both of them seem kind of like impish, like naughty type. So maybe they would go, but I would go kind of I would go after Dominic because he seems like a gentle, like stern person. Seems interesting to me. Like out of the 4 people, Dominic is the most interesting. Then, like arguably Rex or maybe Isaac. Then the least is Luca. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry because maybe I relate to Luca a lot because slightly like maybe I'm kind of like Luca as well. So why would I be interested in someone who's like, especially in a dating sim? Why would I be interested in Luca? Like I wouldn't want to date myself. That won't be interesting. I mean, maybe you guys would be interested, so I don't know. Dominic doesn't seem to be sticking around, and to be honest, I don't want to either. But he's already close to rounding the corner, so I have to hurry if I want to catch him. Some other time, maybe. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Calling out nervously to the approaching Rex, I turn to dash after Dominic's disappearing figure. By the time I make it out of the alleyway, he's already heading down the sidewalk. When I jog up to his side, Dominic casts me a curious, skeptical glance. Hey, Dominic, right? I'm Boo. In case you didn't hear my name earlier. I attempt to start a conversation as I walk beside him, but Dominic gives no reply. Where are you heading off to? It was pretty obvious you didn't want to get. It was pretty obvious you didn't really want to get involved back there. With his hands, I really want to voice Dominic well, but he doesn't talk much. It's so difficult. With his hands stuffed in his pockets, Dominic hesitates briefly. I'm going to have a smoke. Maybe I'll give him like a tired of life voice. I don't know. His blunt reply catches me off guard. He sounds completely apathetic. Yeah. I was apathetic at some point in my life too. Like he doesn't care one bit about the other vampires or Isaac and Luca. Right, well, do you mind if I tag along? There's a few questions I'd really like to ask, and you seem to be the only one sane enough to answer them. After my tentative words, Dominic slows his pace and comes to a halt. He turns to look at me, his eyes widening a bit. I didn't say anything weird, did I? For whatever reason, he seemed surprised. Whoa, what are you so dim? or maybe it's just kind of my like healer support mindset. Like, I don't like to see people under distress. Like if I see life coming out of you, I would just rush over and just what's wrong with you? Can I help you or something? I mean, I don't really like people suffer. Okay, like especially with like Ukrainian like situation, it kind of breaks my heart. Finally, he just shrugs his broad shoulders and starts walking down the street again. I'll choose to interpret that as sure, whatever, and not go away. Maybe he's not good at expressing himself. Without any further attempts at conversation, I follow Dominic along a few different roads, heading towards an older part of the city. After 15 minutes later, we come to an old warehouse. Its peeling paint and decaying exterior makes it look like it's been abandoned for some time. Dominic ducks under a piece of rotting paneling, disappearing into the dark interior, and I quickly head after him. What is this place? At last, after going down a few flight of stairs, we emerge into an open space that's dimly lit by fluorescent lights. The electricity's on. Wow, do people still actually use this place? Seems like it. Offering that insightful remark, Dominic leans back against the wall and slides down onto the floor. Okay? He pulls a pack of cigarettes and a lighter out of his pockets, flickering the latter until a tiny flame sparks up. After lighting his smoke, he takes a long pull from it and blows out a thin gray cloud. Are you gonna sit down? Dominic raises an eyebrow at me, jerking his chin towards the floor. Don't mind if I do. With a slightly nervous chuckle, I lower my... good thing I often chuckle nervously. Those kind of stuff. I often chuckle. I lower myself down beside him, crossing my legs. This feels so awkward, and I have absolutely no idea what's going on through Dominic's head right now. I mean, I try to peer into people's minds, but it's so difficult. Well, I'll just get to the point. I don't think there's any use in making small talk with this guy. So, if I'm not crazy, and everything that happened tonight was actually real, then you're a vampire, right? Dominic stiffs oddly. There are more of them then. Vampires in San Fran. He nods again, exhaling another small stream of smoke. There's no change in his expression, and he just watches me with a look of mild curiosity. I pause and bite my lower lip, at a loss for what to make of all this. It feels like a dream, but there's no sign I'm going to wake up soon. And after what I saw tonight, I'm forced to believe something supernatural is going on. Well, regarding supernatural stuff, I'm open to it, but so far I haven't seen anything. Like, if someday I see some sort of miracle or something that I can't explain it scientifically, I would name it, like, maybe it's just something weird that I just don't understand. But I won't put that as a supernatural event yet. But if it's proven to be supernatural, it's a ghost or Jesus Christ just decide to mess with me, sure, whatever. Damn it! I really shouldn't have gotten out of bed this morning. Hang on, sorry. Because there's a blot of mucus stuck up my nose. It's uncomfortable. I need to snort a bit. That guy Rex was a vampire too, right? Why does he hate you so much? At that, Dominic averts his eyes for a moment, grimacing slightly. Their lover and hater relationship. Come on, just pick up the sign. There was obviously no love lost between them, but Dominic seems a lot less eager to fight than Rex did. He still loves him. Come on. He's from a different clan. Dominic answers in a guarded tone, his gaze hesitantly returning to my face. Oh, so you're rivals. Clan. Oh, right. Luca mentioned something like that. Rex is from a different one than you. Yeah, he's Helgen, and I'm with Seire. There's a small hint of disgust in his words, and his face darkens a bit. thinks that the clan are he thinks the clan are like family or something. That they're important. What, you cast away your family? Guess he doesn't see what a joke it is. A joke it all is. So you're not into the whole clan thing, huh? I get it. I always hated fraternities and shit back in college. Well, it mellows out a bit. I mean, if I were in this situation, I would try to ease his like mood. Like, even though I had really good family relationship with my mom and sister, oftentimes you would get, I mean, it's normal. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's normal that you would feel like you just don't want to be here. You're fed up with your family. You just want to be alone. I get that. Everyone gets that, like that feeling once in a while. But I think what like a true family is, or what love is, you just like, even though you leave, they're still in your hearts. You still think about them. You still want to see them happy, and oftentimes you would miss them and come back and have a reunion, have a nice chat. So I think that's what family or like good friends are. So you don't like, even like in a relationship, like a couple or romantic relationship, you don't really always stick together 24/7. You always have some time to be on your own and just to improve yourself or have some privacy, and then you just go back and have some time. You don't really stick with each other for like always or for too long, because you would grow bored. You would get bored of that feeling, and you would get annoyed really quickly, because you'll burn away the interest so quickly. And sometimes it's not nice to just look at things so tentatively, just look at things with a magnifying glass and just CCTV all over the place. So don't do that. In the end, you'll just hurting yourself. My half-hearted joke makes Dominic crack a small smile, which softens the shadow on his face. When I look at his heavily lidded eyes, I don't see anything that resembles a monster. I mean, monsters and heroes, they're just perspective. Come on. In every story, there's all in a story from different people's eyes, you're bound to be a hero and a villain at some point, because there's always consequences, and you might affect people's lives, and that effect might benefit people, and that effect might like harm people in some way. So you can't be all good or all bad. So do have an open mind to anything. If someone had told me that he was a vampire this morning, I would call him crazy. He's quiet and awkward, sure, but he's not scary at all when he smiles like that. Makes kind of a stern and gentle person, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, before I forget, I really appreciate you saving me back there with Rex. You seem like kind of a superhero, coming to my rescue just in the nick of time. I shiver as my mind flashes back to the terrifying sight of those fangs, right before they plunge into my neck. I mean, of course, like if Dominic just came in to save you, I would, like, my heart would go pounding for him. It's fine, I was just passing through. He evasively turns his head away from me, taking another pull from his cigarette and avoiding my gaze. Maybe it's shy, I don't know. Is it my imagination, or does he look kind of embarrassed? Nice! No, that can't be right. No, he's definitely, like, flustered. Yeah, I'm getting that ass. I'm gonna palm that ass, guys. You're not gonna believe how well I'm gonna do. I'm gonna first try this shit. Like, if there's, like good end, normal end, and bad end, I'm gonna first shot the good one. I'm gonna go with my heart. I'm pretty sure with my own personality, things would go right. Watch me, guys. Talk about a crazy string of coincidences, though. I can't believe you know Isaac and Luca, too. When I mention their names, Dominic pulls a face, grinding his cigarette down against the concrete floor. I don't know them. They know us. He grins. He grimly stares into the distance, and looks like he doesn't plan to explain further unless I ask. You mean they know the other vampires in the city? Isaac does. He sells information and guns, playing both clans for money. That kid Luca's his sidekick. You shouldn't mess with them. Mess around with them. Sorry. Dominic runs a hand through his long, messy hair, letting out a tired sigh. I mean, I would understand, because business people, like mercenaries and bounty hunters, they don't really have a permanent side. They don't have true friends, like people or clan-wise. Their true ally is money, profit, and power. There's no clan's loyalty or like honor. There's nothing like that. They can be very helpful and loyal, but at some point they can turn on your ass really quickly and fuck your ass real bad. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I don't really trust business people. That's why I find them really like sinister. Like there's always something like nasty going on in their minds. I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. They don't sound like great guys, to be honest. Yeah, this is me. See? This is me. I'm not sure why, but I feel sympathy for Dominic, even though he's not human. Human or not human, it's not important. It's the heart. It's the heart that counts. Come on. If I was caught in all of this craziness, I'd probably just want to escape too. No wonder he looks so gloomy all the time. Yeah, I mean, I'm also kind of Dominic as well. I just want to, like, shit, not this again. Fuck it. Why were you out there tonight? His sudden question breaks the silence. Well, it's good for him to initiate a talk. Because so far it's been me who's been initiating. And I glance over to see him gazing at me with interest. I was looking for you. If I'm honest, I think it's because I was looking for you. He tilts his head in confusion at my response, and I awkwardly laugh. I mean, blunt is my personality. Sometimes I just say shit without second thought. But I mean, a lot of people say blunt people are terrifying because, I mean, it's both an advantage and a disadvantage. Because sometimes when you be blunt, you would show yourself, but sometimes you would also like reveal what people actually are. It's kind of a neat skill that I learned when I grew up. So, but I have to use it sparingly and carefully because at least I wouldn't want to put me in a disadvantage. Okay, Isaac said something about a customer of mine showing up, and I guess subconsciously I thought he meant you. I wanted to say thanks for the generous tip after all. For a moment, Dominic just stares at me with apparent surprise. Had he forgotten about the tip he left? Eventually he turns his head away from me, but I can see a faint smirk briefly flicker over his mouth. It was good coffee. He mutters something so quietly that I can barely make it out. Come again? Instead of replying, though, Dominic rather abruptly pushes himself up his feet, turning to me with a more serious expression. He hesitates after opening his mouth, lowering his head a bit. Isaac put you in a lot of danger. His slow. I know business people are always so dangerous. That's why whenever I am making a deal, I'm like firing my brains, like overrunning my brain. It's so difficult to see what they're up to. His slow, husky voice takes on a sharper edge all of a sudden. Humans who know about us are a threat. Oh, Rex will tell the other Helgen about you. When that happens, word will spread fast. Someone will come after you, probably by tomorrow night. Dominic's eyes narrow, and he pauses for a long moment. Until they forget you and start hunting for someone else, you shouldn't be alone in the dark. His words send a cold tingle through me, and a knot curls in the pit of my stomach. It seems dangerous. I'll stick with him. Maybe it's safe. I don't trust the humans. Troy's out of town for a little while, so I can't just take off work. And there's no way I can't afford a taxi every night. And even if he gets back, who's to say they won't still be coming after me? I can't just stay inside my house forever. Maybe I should just skip town. They'll find you before you can leave. What am I supposed to do? How can I stand a chance against... I'll help you. Huh? At his unexpected offer, I freeze, my mouth hanging open. Don't hang open your mouth, girl. Something's gonna get in. Is he serious about saying he'll protect me? Yeah. Aren't I a threat to them? Shouldn't he be working against me? But before I can ask why he'd do something so crazy, Dominic turns his back to me, murmuring a few last words. I'll come to the diner tomorrow. Don't do anything stupid. And with that parting command, he stalks off towards the stairs, his long strides carrying him out of sight in a few moments. I'm left speechless. Somehow I just swapped the T sound after speechless. I don't understand. And I'm left speechless, standing alone with only Dominic's discarded cigarette for a company. The hum of dim fluorescent lights around me is all that disrupts the dead silence. I don't know what to think. Dominic, I didn't know anything. I didn't do anything to deserve his help, but he's going to give it to me anyway. No, normally I'd refuse, since it's pretty stupid to rely on a creature who sees you as food. But if I compared Dominic to vampires like Rex, who act like wild animals, well, I'd be an idiot to refuse the help. And for some reason, I feel I can trust him. I don't know why, but there's something comforting about being with Dominic. Yeah, I know, right? It's like having a guardian wolf almost. Like, I mean, he's almost a wolf himself, so let's go for it. Grab his ass is mine. Guardian wolf. Man, did I just walk out of some trashy fantasy book? This is a fantasy and I'm in for it. I'm in for it, come on. Muttering to myself dryly, I slip out of the warehouse, gripping by a growing fear. All the way back to my apartment, I keep an eye out for anything lurking in the shadows. The streets look the same as they always do, but now, they're starting to feel like a background instead of my home. Home sweet home. If only I could pretend all of this was a crazy fever dream. If only it was that easy. I end up tossing and turning in bed for what feels like ages, until eventually, the exhaustion from tonight pulls me into deep sleep. Is that a good end? Like good ending? Yeah, maybe this is a good place to end. So, we're gonna finally get more opportunity to know our wolf boy, like Dominic Wolf Boy. So I'm very excited to what this game has to offer. So I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I do. I'm totally thirsty and down bad for Dominic. I don't know if you guys like feel the same as me. I mean, feel free to comment like who is your favorite like up to this point. Don't spoil anything though, because I don't want to know the storylines and the characters yet, because I'd like to find that out myself. But just do tell me who your favorite is, or maybe just leave it for the latter part. Like, who knows, maybe it will turn out interesting for us all. So I hope guys enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.